What if the only way to keep someone you love alive was to pay a monthly subscription fee, not just for a service, for their entire life? That's the question Black Mirror throws at us in its season 7 opener, and honestly, it might be one of the most quietly devastating episodes yet. Directed by Toby Haynes, who also did USS Callister, and starring Rashida Jones, Chris O'Dowd, and Tracee Ellis Ross, Common People is grounded, emotional, and kind of terrifying in a subtle way. In this video, I'm going to break down the story, explain the themes, talk performances, visuals, and give you my take on whether this was a strong start to the season. So let's get into it. Amanda, played by Rashida Jones, falls into a coma after a medical emergency, and her husband, played by Chris O'Dowd, is presented with the opportunity to sign her up for a new technology called Rivermind to keep her alive, which seems perfect at first, but the consequences of the subscription service soon become obvious as they come with a huge cost. Rivermind operates on a subscription-based model with increasing costs and tiers each year. Sound familiar? Since they can't afford to keep making payments, Amanda's quality of life deteriorates and she can hardly sleep. In hopes of fixing this issue, they visit Rivermind headquarters and ask for help, where they're told the only way to make things better is to move up another tier, which is way more expensive. And this keeps happening over time. It gets to a point where they put ads into her and she randomly recites the ads and gets in trouble at work, and again told, in order to fix this, you have to move up a tier. And this crosses so many planes in real life: healthcare, streaming services. Look at our phones. If you don't update your phone or stay up to date with the latest iPhone releases, they will eventually start to glitch and get to a point where they just stop working. It's like you're forced to upgrade. It's literally a never-ending goalpost being moved. So let's talk about what this episode is really saying. On the surface, Common People is a story about a couple navigating a medical crisis, but underneath, it's a sharp critique of how modern healthcare and systems exploit vulnerability. The big idea here is subscription-based survival. Again, can you imagine having to pay a monthly fee just to keep someone you love alive? It's chilling, but also painfully plausible in a world that's already monetizing everything, from basic health to data, even relationships. Mike and Amanda's desperation is something that feels universally relatable, but what makes it really hit is the ethical trap they fall into. While watching this, you're constantly asking yourself, what would I do if this was someone I loved? Would I make the same choice? In that moral gray area, that's peak Black Mirror. When you watch, you'll see he's doing the craziest of things just to keep her alive. And also, while she's deteriorating, you see his quality of life just going down. And that was really touching to see the lengths that he went to protect his wife and make her happy. Okay, let's talk about the performances, because honestly, they carried this episode. First off, Chris O'Dowd is Mike. We're so used to seeing him in comedic roles, but here he brings that quiet desperation that feels incredibly grounded. You can see the weight of every decision wearing him down, even in the moments where he's just sitting silently. Rashida Jones as Amanda is just as strong. Her performance is subtle, almost fragile at times, but there's this strength underneath it. The way she expresses fear and hope all at once, especially in those hospital scenes, it's heartbreaking. You feel and you see her slipping away, but still trying to hold on to some kind of control. And she does a good job at making Amanda feel like someone you know or someone you could be. And also, poor Rashida is once again struggling to conceive, just like in Silo. When is my girl gonna get her happy ending? And then there's Tracee Ellis Ross as Gaynor, the face of the tech company offering the solution. She's charismatic, polished, and just unsettling enough to make you question her every word. I think she killed this role. She was hilarious. It shows how systems are created. It's laughable. It's silly. All you can do is laugh at how ridiculous some of these companies are. So I think Tracy's character really embodied that. The chemistry between O'Dowd and Jones really drives the emotional core. You believe in their relationship. You believe in their struggle. And that connection makes every ethical choice in the episode feel heavier. It's a small cast, but every performance counts. Nothing's overdone. Nothing's theatrical. It's all very human. And that's what makes the story hit as hard as it does. As far as visuals for this episode, there's nothing too flashy. Everything is just kind of muted, a lot of grays, which reinforce the feeling of detachment. And everything feels drained, which mirrors what the characters are going through. And what really stood out to me was how the camera lingers. There are long, quiet takes where the characters don't even say much, but the tension is all in the silence. The silence is loud. And they give the audience this task to sit in the discomfort, and that restraint works beautifully within the story's themes. So while this episode might not have the striking visuals of something like USS Callister, it does use visual storytelling in a smart, understated way. It's eerie and haunting. So, was Common People a strong start to Black Mirror Season 7? For me, absolutely. This was my favorite episode of the season. I think it was layered beautifully. It was so many different aspects. It was so real. It was relatable. And it might not be the flashiest or most concept heavy episode, but it's human. And what it does is it hits on a very real fear that love alone might not be enough when you're up against systems designed to exploit you. This episode was heartbreaking, and this is a story that needed to be told. I also want to know what you think. When you watched this episode, how did it make you feel? Also, let me know your favorite episode from the season and your least favorite episode from the season. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. My name is Kamara. Thanks for watching another episode of Screen Diaries. Until next time, take care. Bye.